A brave battle back from Asterion, but it wasn't enough. The bridge was too far, and CR4ZY lead by 1 map to 0 in this elimination matchup. It's go big or go home for Asterion, which some of these players isn't too far away.
That is true, but obviously they would like to be sticking around, and I'm sure the crowd would feel the same way as we do go into Inferno. This is a map that Asterion only got 1 round yesterday, Fitz on 4th. I mean, it's hard not to laugh at around something like that. But anyway, I mean, they started out on the T side there. Could not get anything done against Force's defense. We'll see if they can do better here. Because CR4ZY is a team that have had their own struggles on Inferno, Vince. They've lost the last 9 games in a row on land before the roster change. Now, granted, many of those losses were very close games, some in overtimes, and they were losing to some of the best teams in the world, like a Na'Vi or an Astralis and things of that nature. So this is a different kind of story for them coming into this.
Oh, no doubt. It's another one of those kind of stories similar to what we said about Besiktas and also Havu, where Asterion, this is a step up. You know, this is uncharted territory for a lot of these players, if not all of them. As a roster, definitely the case. And so we have to see if they can swim the same way that Havu have. I mean, is it safe to say through this tournament that Havu is the biggest surprise?
Sure. I think their performances have been something to be impressed by. But here we go into map number 2 of the Elimination Best of 3. Asterian's life is on the line.
And they are going to be starting on the T side. It's not going to be an easy endeavor on their choice of map. Flash and smoke is all they have, and CR4ZY
Whoa.
not messing about. 4 players strong down mid. This may end up backfiring though, because Asterion only have 1 player in Banana. It's going to be Thomas that's caught instantly, but now the information has been gathered. They're going to realize, oh, it's going to be an A hit. What they don't realize though is it's Asterion only just started to move up second mid. What a strange round this is. Teams ultimately switching their positions, and now Asterion have a fast track towards the site. It's only going to be Letney in the pit by himself. Flashbang proceeds the push, and he goes down almost instantly. There's 2 players pushed up just outside of Library, neither of them able to get a kill, so a bomb plant will be coming to fruition. One of the strangest pistol rounds you will see on Inferno, but it will read 4 playing 4 on a retake.
I don't even understand what I just witnessed. It's like they had the hardest of reads. It was going to be a mid push. I don't know how they could have possibly known that, but it's panned out into a bomb play. But can they hold off the retake? It's not looking so good right now. As Ship is finding domes.
A whole bunch of them. Lazar tries to pull off a heroic last stand. Damage inflicted, but not enough to stop the bomb from being defused. And so CR4ZY living up to their name, honestly, with that push down middle. It does work out somehow.
But you know what that bomb plant means, Vince?
SG time.
Indeed.
This is where they don't buy, and I just look like an idiot.
Yep.
Nothing new there.
Mm-hmm. And... Nope.
AK.
Okay. AK. There it is. Saved.
Xbox gets a Galil just in the last few moments of buy time. Does supplement a 3rd smoke. Molotov's being put down, one's been smoked out instantly. Mauling in return, close wall. Lazar gets destroyed by Ships on the cross with the MP9. And now it's Emmy's turn with a flashbang preceding the peak. They have done such a good job of holding off this buy. And Asterion, they have to just vacate the area. They are tapping out of Banana. There's a slight gap in that smoke though. It's going to allow Thomas to stay in a little bit longer. But is his commitment going to cost them dearly? It's looking likely there's a Molotov behind him. They're going to start to push in. Ships is caught all alone. Doesn't have any help, and at this range, the MP9 is going to do little against armor.
Does give control to Asterion here over towards top B. They're still down a man, though. Smoke up on CT. Otto trying to play around it for some spamming damage, but instead he receives the brunt of that duel. Down to 40 HP. Still no commitment yet from Asterion. 2 defenders here. There's no utility. There's 1 smoke left for Xbox to resmoke CT spawn. That's going to be it.
They do still have some time to play with, but they're not sure if a flank is coming through from the Banana side. Thomas, crisp headshot. Otto spent everything he had. It wasn't good enough. Emmy, in the meanwhile, though, going to be coming around the corner with the MP9. They nearly line up for him. Bomb does get dropped out. Going to eat up another couple of seconds, but more than enough time for the plant. Now, the flank coming into fruition. The bomb does get planted. And the last millisecond before Letney closes out next Fox and Esperanto. M4 in hand will seal the deal. CR4ZY have retaken 2 in a row now.
Indeed, they have. Letney with just a great timing on that flank. Almost a team ace from CR4ZY in this round. Sure, the bomb plant comes through, and that gives a little bit of extra money to Asterion, but because they already went for the second round buy, there's not really money there, so they kind of have to still take a save in this round, but they will help them in the long term. But no, they actually do go for this. I'm surprised. It does mean that they have to use a MAC-10 and a Galil. I think it's just because they know how much rebuying CR4ZY has had to do these last couple of rounds. They know that they can chase after that. 3-6, though, is still plenty.
Exactly, and they know if they continue to apply this pressure, it also stalls CR4ZY's ability to get AWPs on the battlefield, which is a big part of their CT side. It's going to starve Otto that little bit longer. It's risk versus reward, really, Dust, and they feel like the risk is worth it. If they can beat down CR4ZY here, it could be the start of something special on their T-half.
Here's the problem, though. They only have one smoke grenade. So they have, basically, they have to use that to smoke off CT spawn if they want to go B, right? And if you use it at some other point in time, then once you actually go for the take, you have to rely on pure aiming. So this is going to be really difficult. They've left the bomb well behind. They're just kind of three-manning over here, just making sure they can secure top banana control, which they haven't been able to find out as CR4ZY is playing back into the site. Oh, Thomas again has done this on the Coffin's peak.
He seems godly at this peak, and there's the second kill with the SG. Not far off connecting through the smoke either. Otto gets a molly kill on Nino, who got obliterated by it. Evaporated, but Thomas is continuing to claim heads. The bomb has been retrieved. Esperanto gonna hold on to Arches. CR4ZY, do they go for this retake? 2v3 with utility, no problem, but they don't have a kit.
Yeah, and they're just so far out. They weren't even close to rotating yet. It's just not going to be enough time. Esperanto trying to set up for maybe some exits. But it is going to be around to Asterion. Get them on the board pretty quickly here. It's just been Thomas, man. These entries he's gotten towards that Coffin's position in particular, it's been so devastating for CR4ZY.
Yeah, already on 5 kills, but it feels like all of his kills have been so impactful, especially these last 2 rounds of the entries that you say on Coffins. This SG just instantly locking on and providing kills for Asterion. Bomb this time will detonate. No more defuses for CR4ZY. Rough shape economically as well. They may end up having to just force buy.
Yeah, they had those guns carried over, and they are going to surround as much as they can. There's going to be a couple of MP9s on Letney and Otto, and the CZ for Emmy. Emmy just soloing over here towards B. Everyone else over towards A, looking to even maybe get a little bit aggressive here. They're actually going to do a boost on the flower pots and have Esperanto under the porch, so they can do a nice little like bait and switch kind of exchange here. Obviously, a smoke could cordon off chips from being helpful, but have to see how it plays out.
Emmy is alone. He has that nade positioned out. They saw the trajectory of that smoke as to where Emmy currently resides. Of course, from Asterian's perspective, they have no idea how many players are on B. For all they know, it is a stack, so they're not going to just run in there.
Yeah. Just kind of, you know, real basic stuff here for Inferno, right? You're getting top banana control at the same time you're clearing out apartments. Just kind of your bread and butter start to most rounds for the T side. Don't even really control brackets just yet. Now they finally do smoke off ships, and they're going to start maybe piecing together something over towards the lane, but another smoke comes out from the CT side, forces those 2 terrorists back, and now they're going to go back towards B. Now there is a rotation from ships. He has come over, but is Thomas going to do it again? I mean, it would just be unreal at this point if he does get the one tap over Coffins once more with this SG, but...
Well, the answer is no, because Ships takes that opportunity away from him. Emmy only had a CZ, so if that trade came in, it could have been all she wrote. Has that gap in the smoke. Otto not able to make the most of it. Can hear the bomb being planted. CR4ZY are up by a player, but firepower-wise, it's not looking ideal. 2 SMGs and a CZ, only the 1 AK-47. Where these kills came down was mainly around the banana area. They can't take those guns and use them against the T's. Molotov onto Garden. Emmy's going to have to wait for it to clear. Now he's going to start to move up simultaneously. His teammates flashing over. Loz is going to take the initiative, push through the smoke, and it's going to yield so much. What a ballsy play that's paid off for him. And there's Next Fox to clean up the rest. They felt compelled to take the fight to the CTs, and it pays off.
That's an incredibly good round there. You felt like they were going to lose that, especially after Ships' initial play on that first push-up banana. You really felt like this was going to go the way of CR4ZY, but Asterion are able to reel it back in. And now, Vince, they've already done better than yesterday. Progress, Vince.
One round at a time. Brick by brick. And to be fair, they look like just a revamped unit as well from yesterday.
Some might say an absolute unit, Vince.
Could certainly turn into that. They were getting there towards the end of train.
Yeah.
They ran out of gas.
Obviously not much to use here for CR4ZY, just the 2 Deagles. Thomas with the boost up, will catch ships up close.
Also, I know because you just love it. Letney, Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
Do it, Letney.
Please.
He is playing in a very good angle for it, up close.
Come on, Xbox. You know you want to bring that SG into the apartments and walk towards that balcony. Take that one fateful step. Definitely no bias, of course. All right, then. Maybe it's Bernard.
Oh, a dink through the smoke. Thomas has been dropped down to 34. Of course, the chances of CR4ZY doing anything with that dink are minimal, to say the least.
Yeah, we're going to see Bernard leading the charge to control bracket side of middle. So we're getting a lot of space here, a couple of Molotovs and a smoke to clear out pit and start working their way into this A bomb site, which means that Zeus is going to be riddled useless for the most part, unless he just jumps in somehow and gets a kill. That would be pretty wild.
It's possible because they were taking a long time. If Otto was able to maybe land a couple of headshots to the USP, it's asking a lot, but it could have got pretty interesting. Now Letney's position is compromised and his life has been taken away. The executioner, Bernard, with Nextvox lending a helping hand. Esperanto's going to try and hold on to his Deagle, get some exit frags if one of Asterion decide to push through the library. And it's not looking like that will be the case. They're all just going to back away and save in pit. Bernard, of course, has to go elsewhere. With 30 HP remaining, he would die in pit. And Asterion will take the lead.
Indeed, they will. Definitely a much better look on Inferno than what we saw yesterday against Fours whenever they had dreadful offense there. So again, the crowd's starting to get amped up because they're taking it to CR4ZY really this whole series long. They have been very impressive, I'll have to say.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people would have had them down for a fairly comfortable 2-0. But Asterion came out swinging. They came out here to fight today.
Yeah.
Grenades being exchanged up on Banana. Hefty grenade stack, but they're all a little bit too deep. Emmy and Esperanto are playing up close in the sandbags.
I wonder if a pop flash is going to come into play here for a CT to take a peek when, in fact, Thomas takes the aggressive. Now that flash does come in, but Esperanto and Emmy don't feel comfortable peeking off the back of it. Now they will just smoke off, and a bit of a stalemate going here, but Thomas actually jumps up for 2. He has been so damn good with that SG on this banana side of the map. A quick 5 versus 3, Vince.
And they retreat, having done the damage. Allow CR4ZY to stew on this a little bit, see if they maybe over-rotate towards the B side. This is why Ships is also going aggro. He wants to trade out to the M4, get a bit of info for his team so they can keep these two over on short.
Right.
Which is Otto and Letney. Otto, if he can get this kill onto the boiler and back away to the site, we have a round on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. This could still go the way of CR4ZY. Flashes out, gonna force Otto back. There's the kill. Is he able to escape? No. Letney wasn't there to help him out, coming through the smoke and nearly able to transition across with the second spray down. But with those kills going fairly cleanly overall, Ships doesn't have much of a chance to retake this site. No nades at his disposal. I would have to come out of library as well, which is one of the roughest angles to come out of, especially when you know the enemy has an AWP.
Yeah, can't see too much going his way in this round, but he is still kind of poking and prodding around here. He does have the kit. If he maybe found a quick kill, maybe he would have fancied his chances, but obviously that opportunity does not present itself, so he will just back off and save. One of the few weapons you feel like CR4ZY are going to have into the next round. Not a lot of money to be spending on that side, and so Asterion could be building up a nice little lead here on their T side, Inferno. They've done really well. I mean, Thomas has really been the key factor. Already 8 kills in the 5 rounds played. Lots of impact openers over towards that B side of the map.
It was a similar lead that kicked off Train, but under very different circumstances. It was Asterion 4-0 off the pistol. This time they came back after losing the pistol. This is why it's so much more impressive what we're seeing come into play. is their choice of map. You expect them to be comfortable on the T side. But it's the manner that they've dealt with Crazy that's been very impressive to me.
Yeah. Now Luzza will have an AWP, I think for the first time. Hasn't really had to go for it in the past, but now an op will be in play. 3-man stack over here towards B for Crazy, including ships his M4 towards the back of the new box.
Letney putting out the feelers into app side. Let's take a bit of damage and spray through the apps of bedroom. Otto is waiting for an engage up on balcony. It's not going to be forthcoming as Asterion are more interested over on the B side of the map where 3 players wait for them.
Yeah, and will they check the boost is kind of always the biggest question you have to ask, especially because there's actually 2 boosts going on right now. This is a deadly crossfire for Crazy despite the limited resources. But Thomas has been up to the task time and time again. Will he do it once more?
This is where you're looking at those Molotovs to jump into the likes of New Box on Sandwich. This is why they're so deadly, so detrimental. Although Thomas is trying to come out and get a read and a play, this could actually backfire horribly. They're not going to be throwing in the nade, but Chips runs out of ammunition. Esperanto with a deagle. Connecting headshots, pushing back the T's. And next Fox left over the ruins of his teammates. Crazy bounce back with authority. That's why you need those Molotovs tossed in before the push.
Yeah, that was just a nice little gimmick there to have both players boosted. Obviously, so much focus on that first one over towards New Box, and that allowed Esperanto to kind of bide his time, wait for the perfect moment to strike with that deagle, and he finishes off the round. Back to buying is both sides at this point. Both economies are very fragile right now, so this round could be very important for that reason.
The chicken, the victim of the Molotov, and Luzza gonna thread the eye of the needle onto Emmy, who was jumping, looking for some info. Cost him his life. Esperanto still playing on the close sandbags. They've done this a few times already, but he is isolated from his teammate. Flashes and smokes make that a possibility. Now they're starting to clear. Now they're starting to dwindle, and Esperanto wants to just get out of there.
Yeah. They're actually going to gamble over towards A, Vince, and Otto has found a kill onto Bernard up close there in the apartment. And so they're hedging their bets. If it's going to be some type of A hit, they'll be perfectly positioned for it. If it's a B hit, well, you might be in a lot more trouble. But we do see Esperanto actually has made his way back over towards the coffins with the M4. So there is still some of a beat here, but I mean, it's Thomas, of course, with the SG. We've seen it time and time again over the top of coffins. This time Esperanto not going to do it. He just wants to hold construction control for the retake opportunity later.
Not making any noise to fake a potential rotation, but Crazy aren't falling for it. Still maintaining ships over here to help out Esperanto. The SG gonna get flash from ships, not gonna continue to peak. 30 seconds. Just shy of half a minute on the time, and the M4 spray. Not good enough for Esperanto, and ships has gone down too. Crazy gonna have to concede. Asterion again continue to go blow for blow.
Yeah, the synergy there was just not on point for Crazy. That first flash that got thrown for ships to peak with was ineffective, and then the push comes in and no kills go Esperanto or ships' way. It's very clean trading from Asterion. And so that is going to extend their lead up to 5-3 now. 2 guns being saved by Crazy, but again, the economy is just so low. With their loss bonus, they might still be able to muster some type of buy because Otto does have 3250. Ships has enough money to buy, so they still could get something pieced together in the next round.
Certainly possible. We are going to have a tactical timeout for Crazy to think about it and mull it over before they do fully invest. There's a shot from Luzza. Emmy just jumping up. A similar angle to where we saw Jane land a few kills yesterday for Vanguard. Some beautiful flicks.
There's old Neil M. Former coach of Esperanto when they played together on Imperial. So gonna have some familiarity with him as a player at the very least, and just trying to get something going for this team. They could use something here. They have really struggled these last several rounds. Won that pistol, won the anti-eco, and then from that point forward, it's really been the Asterion show.
Neil M, always animated, always wears his heart on his sleeve, a very passionate guy. Otto flashing out. Oh, the tactical timeout has yielded nothing at all.
I mean, they have been committing to this triple stack B almost every single round, and their success has been so limited. Think of Luzz's, this is now twice he's gotten an op pick off of this. There's been, the time that Thomas boosted the wall and got 2 kills, and basically won the round right then and there. So the limited success that CR4ZY has had here is a real problem.
They have managed to recover the AWP that was dropped from Otto. The slow peek. Nino trying to fake out the shot so the player behind him that he was crouched down for could get the avenging frag, but it's not worked out. Emmy unfortunate not to get a kill from that. He looked like 2 players were in his crosshair. Bernard spraying through the flashbang and the smoke, but it's Esperanto that's coming in with kills. 3 of them using every bullet in the magazine. And now Luzza is about to get killed from behind. Esperanto, what a majestic hold.
What above the smoke?
That was pretty wild, especially the discipline of the spray to make sure he kept a couple of extra bullets in the magazine after this little splurge here. Waiting for that last peek through, catches next Fox. Really great stuff from Esperanto, making a big individual play. Asterion are able to buy back, but if they were to take the loss here, they would have to save. That's where CR4ZY could take the lead back. Something they haven't had since the 2-0 start to the half.
That's the kind of round, if you're Asterion, you're gutted because you got Otto instantly and you don't convert from that position.
Yeah, you got to trade out Esperanto more efficiently. That's really the biggest problem there. Maybe he surprises you at first, but you got to be able to get that trade back, and they couldn't. Now we see Asterion trying to go for a quicker pace, brackets control at top middle, but the utility of CR4ZY has really thwarted them. Nino's taken some damage along the way. They have no presence towards Banana. There's a 4-man stack from CR4ZY towards A. This could get really nasty, Vince.
It is certainly setting up that way. Asterion haven't fully committed. They still have a player watching Banana, but they are going to go in. This is where the nades are starting to rain down some pain, but Luzza holds on with the AWP. Otto peeks into his crosshair. Second consecutive round, Otto's died first. They weren't able to make the most of it last round. Can they remedy this situation? This Molly's into Alco. Luzza flashed again. Emmy, spray on point. Esperanto helps him out from quad. Able to jump away and bait out the shot, comes back in for seconds. And Luzza's being flashed continuously. There's a kill. Letney, if he goes around the corner and peeks this, could be a dead man, but they still have another one on Archie. And Luzza's being smoked out. Here comes Ships as well from Banana. He's living on borrowed time, and Ships is gonna put him down. They're tied up again, 5-5.
And this is where you're gonna have to see Asterion take the save. A chance for CR4ZY to now take the lead. It was a great contest from CR4ZY at top. Even though they lost an initial duel because Otto took a late peek into Luz holding the angle, they were able to kind of re-aggress with some pop flashes, create a crossfire from closet and porch, and win all of those duels, basically. Really well done. See Asterion trying to do a little bit quick pop flash play up alt mid into middle. They had a chance at Otto maybe, but now Otto gets away.
The massacre in effect. Bomb has been dropped additionally. Thomas taking a chunk of damage from a nade. Esperanto's moved in. Have to be careful they don't tag each other through the terrorist bodies. And CR4ZY going to be moving to a 6-5 lead.
Now we should be able to see Asterion back onto a full purchase. It's been a well-contested kind of mid-portion of the half here. Again, we've seen so much success from Asterion, particularly on their top banana control and the entries on that site. A spot that Esperanto and Nexa used to play together. Esperanto seems to be floating a lot more now, and they've been relying on Ships to kind of be the main anchor point over here. This time he's going to have the second AWP, which they're going to know about because they suffered a blow from him at the end of the last round, so they know what they're up against.
Ships flash, there is another one tossed in though. Flicks across, gonna be 2 kills for Ships, could be more, will be more. Sensational hold by CR4ZY. Only losing about 30 damage collectively for 4 kills. Exquisite work. And now Bernard has to try and hatch a master plan. The bomb's not with him, it's on Banana, and there's 3 players picking the bones over. And Ships is going to seal it up with a 4K. It seems like Asterion starting to run out of a bit of steam here, Dust.
Yeah, it does seem that way. A great individual effort there from Chips. I mean, it's always dicey whenever you're an opper trying to hold aggressively on top Banana because, yeah, you get that first kill, but what are the chances that two people don't just come swinging around that wall and you just get overwhelmed? But somehow Chips was able to get more kills. The spacing wasn't quite right for Asterion. Could not get the trade, and Chips makes a big individual effort that gets crazy around number 7. They've now won the last 4 in a row. As you said, Asterions are starting to cool off a little bit here, right when they need more energy. It seems to be fading.
It's actually going to be crazy, though. Call a tactical timeout, let them stew on it, come up with some other plans. Last time they did this, they went for an aggressive play in Banana. Let's see what they do this time around.
Not going to be a whole lot, I would imagine, Vince. Just some pistols and 1 pop flash.
Otto hasn't had a huge amount of impact with the AWP. Hasn't really been called upon that often, though, to be fair. When you have ships in this kind of form with Esperanto chipping in. Here's the flash, going to be designated on Banana. However, there's a Molotov and a smoke that have just been planted down, so Thomas is going to hold fire on that flash. And with the Molotov and smoke being planted, they have a good reason to believe that they're not actually going to be playing up close. It's not really the play you do that often. They're going to be getting closer instead, flashing the top of Banana, and then just funneling in. This Molotov is going to do so much damage if they force their way through it. That alongside DSG, it's going to just be an obliteration of Asterion. Just the 1 kill. You can see what they're going for, just doesn't pay off.
Yeah, not a whole lot you can do in a round like that. It's just the 1 flash and pistols. You just gotta run in and hope for the best. It just wasn't quite there. Final couple of rounds coming up here to end out this first half. Can Asterion close the gap and get this one as close as possible, or will CR4ZY reach double digits? There you go. Give them your energy. They need this round. This would be the big one to claim.
There's the boost up, and Ship's just about able to catch a pixel when surgical precision removes Lazar. Molotov's down, not going to spread to Nino, fortunately for him, because he doesn't have a smoke, so he'd be in serious trouble had it spread. There's a HE behind it, so he's going to take a bit more damage. Esperanto shoots a little bit too early.
Chips and Nino exchange op shots at Banana, both claiming a kill in the process, but CR4ZY maintained the main advantage here. Apartment's control has been taken, but Asterion have been kind of hesitant to move forward because of Esperanto's aggression through Boiler earlier in the round. Defense is now split 2 to each site. Top mid being taken now by Bernard and company with a little bit of utility behind it. Otto might be looking for that late peek again. Last time he got punished because Luzza was holding the angle. This time it'll be Nino and Bernard.
They go slow. Otto really should be taking at least 1 kill. Do they flash around the corner? No, the shadow betrays Bernard, but Otto has whiffed. Esperanto, in the meanwhile, though, holds it down with 2, making 3 kills. AK-47 working against the offensive team. And now CR4ZY, they are 1 step away from the double digits, as you call, Dust.
Man, 32 kills between Chips and Esperanto. They have been playing some phenomenal defense, particularly in these last 6 or so rounds. Basically, they have the entirety of the Asterion team covered in frags by themselves. Everything else that the other 3 from CR4ZY have done has just been kind of icing on the cake when you think about the fragging department of this half. 1 round left to go now.
Yeah, they have exactly the same amount of kills. There's 32 kills for Asterion.
Imagine that. I can do math, Vince. I bet you didn't know.
You've made some blunders in the
Oh, 100%. Like, it's always a dangerous game doing quick math as a commentator, but I did pull that one out.
Well, the Master Asterion allows them to pick up 4 assault rifles and a CZ. Not ideal, but more than enough firepower to make this work. And then they have the CT side coming up, so this really is still on a razor's edge. Anybody's game. But every single round, oh, so important. 4 smokes, one of which has just been tossed out for the T's to still play with.
Something we haven't really seen is Asterion be able to actually rat Moto and get some good things going up lane, but now they're going to pick up the pace, Vince.
Good Molotov put down. Lepke can stay in position on the balcony. Thomas could have a very integral moment here with the SG. And he's put down Esperanto. He is culling and trying to annul the CT presence here on the A side of the map.
Oh no.
But also still alive. That's the bomb that goes with Next Fox there, having their attention drawn out. Nino pushes before anyone else on the team could really help him out there.
Oh man. It's tough. Like, the counter utility from the C side has been so good on all these attacks at the A side, and they were going to try to run back to B, but then the bomb got caught, so now they have to keep committing, and Otto's not missing op shots. This time, Vince, he finishes off the round with a quad kill. A 10-5 half here for CR4ZY. We'll be right back after a short break to complete the match.
Things have heated up nicely here on Inferno and got spicy. CR4ZY lead 10-5. But Asterion now moves through on their choice of map to the CT side. And if they can pick up this pistol, it really is anybody's game. But this is certainly a pressure situation now.
Absolutely is. You see Asterion taking point over at Banana. This is going to be his main position throughout the half. One of those main guys going to be fighting for B control. Usually Letney being the one helping him out. Curious if Ships will take over Hunter's old position at Boiler, because, I mean, that's going to be a key point of contact to get control of middle throughout the half on defaults and such. And Ships will be up mid right now by himself. It is a 4-man stack for Asterion towards A. The crossfire at top middle, which means Bernard is going to be all alone here with just that one smoke grenade at B. And it looks like it is going to be a B attack coming in here any moment, Vince.
They run the risk as well with Bernard only having the defuse and a smoke. If he dies quickly, it's going to be very hard for Asterion to get their hands back on this defuse kit, especially if it's Coffin. So he's already been smoked out. He needs players to be here right now. He needed them here yesterday, to be honest. Now going to be making a move up through on the CT side, trying to pierce a couple of smoke shots into heads, but nothing going to be forthcoming. Fortunately, Bernard has survived. Otto now trying to hold down Banana, but he's overwhelmed by Next Fox. Emmy next up to the plate through Garden, an even trade. The player advantage still in favor of Asterion as Thomas is caught. I don't know if Esperanto just got a gun that had no bullets in it, but Ships is spinning around, landing headshots of 4K. But Next Fox, who started the round off on the Banana, is going to end it with a defusal.
Oh my goodness, what a chaotic round that really was. Trading back and forth all the way throughout the round, but in the end, Next Fox finds the final blow, the one that matters the most. Gets that defused, it will be 10-6. And now all of a sudden, despite a dominant performance from CR4ZY on the tail end of that first half, they're just going to be sweeping through the game. Asterion win a big pistol. That does put them right back in contention, you have to imagine. But that bomb plant, it does give Crazy a chance to get that buy-in early. They could swing right back at Asterion and put them in a bad place economically. Whoever loses this round has to take a save, Vince, and that could really make a big difference in the scoreline, depending on who takes this round.
Asterion certainly not out of the forest yet. Can't see the sun.
Ooh, this is an interesting boost type thing. Don't see this too often. Usually it's new box boost. Yeah, Ships is like, what in the world?
Able to also retreat back to the new box. Molotov's fast towards the back of the site. Not going to extend to Bernard, but he decides to change his angle anyway. Wants to play up close with the SMG.
That was wild, man. Have you seen that boost very often? I can't think of seeing that. That's kind of crazy.
Definitely not something that you see very often at all.
Yeah, it's usually just a flower pot boost, which is like super standard, or maybe a new box boost. So that certainly caught Ships way off guard.
It's an angle they're going to check for going forward.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Downside for Crazy, though, is in that incursion, they no longer have a smoke. There's a Molotov and a flashbang, that's it. They'd love to be able to cordon off one of these areas, whether it's pit, maybe library if they want to try and pinch through arches, but they don't have that at their disposal. They can flash off the chimney into pit if they want to push out of apps on balcony, but there's another smoke down here now.
They do have that one flash you're talking about, Vince, so that is going to have to be their ticket out, it seems like. Although Esperano's not with them. I think he could flash them out, though, from top middle, which is another play that you can see sometimes.
15 seconds. Come on, Crazy. You've got to get a move on. Chop, chop. Next box. MP9. Destroyed instantly. And Nino's running out of bullets. Are they really going to do this, Crazy? Just 7 seconds remain with a flashbang and a Molotov. They've taken control of the site. And Asterion already tapping out.
Yeah, that's tough. They didn't get anything from the pit defense there, despite the fact that the flash from Esperano didn't really blind anybody. They couldn't get a kill. And then the incendiary that they did try to throw into the apartments after they started spilling out just wasn't there fast enough. And again, the kills go the way of Crazy. Letney and Otto with the big entries. And so these guns will be being saved. That second round buy is going to be fruitful for Crazy. That puts them to 11. Now, luckily, because they've saved 3 guns here, at least they can pose a threat in this next round. It won't be a formality, as it could have been, where they might have been in a full save position.
Completely agreed. Asterion setting up for that potential save. Have pulled it off. Now, buying behind this is going to be scarce. They even need to prioritize utility or firepower. And yeah, they're going to go for SMGs in the 5.7 to just afford them a couple extra smokes, an incendiary. Totally on board with this play.
Yeah, it's a big one, though. If they lose this, they do have to full save for sure. There's going to be no questions about that unless they go for like another save again. We're going to see Otto and Emmy looking to get some control here towards Banana with Esperano.
Now, Crazy may just take their time in this round. Again, try and deplete as many smokes as possible and then hit a weakened Asterion.
Especially if you're Asterion, you really want to hold on to your utility as much as you can because you know it's not a lot. Especially, you know, nades and incendiaries and stuff you want to be using for potential retake situations, especially because you're playing a retake setup on B for the most part. You are going to have Letney kind of creating as much pressure as he can towards mid to hold these people in place and keep them interested, but the real attack is going to be coming B, and again, it's going to be a similar boat to what we've seen before. Bernard is just all alone, and again, he's forced off. He's just going to try to hold on the construction and buy time for a rotation, unless they just want to save these weapons again. Again, the money is low. I wouldn't even blame them for it.
Cool little play, throwing down the Molotov for the smoke. It actually allows him safe passage out of the site if he so chooses. He may try and take some players down with him. I'm surprised that Asterion are even half going for this, knowing that their economy is in such bad shape. They're pivoting hard off Bernard's position, but now they realize now like, it's just not worth it.
Yep, it's one of those rare rounds where no kills actually happen, but a team still wins the round. It's really just all on positioning. Asterion really just kind of rolling the dice that maybe they would get something going their way over towards the A side of the map, but unfortunately for them, it's just snake eyes once the dice was thrown, and it's going to be 12 rounds now for Crazy.
Yeah, it's not too often you see all 10 players remain. I don't know if Bernard will be able to escape this. Assuming that all the T's do go down Banana, he should be okay, which is the case.
Yeah, only 4 HP was exchanged in the entirety of that round, except for what just happened there by the bomb. The bomb did more damage there than anyone on the server.
But Crazy, regardless of how many casualties of war we had, they do move 12-6 in the lead. Asterion get another shot at this, however. $2,000 across the board. Quite interesting that they didn't decide to fully invest behind this. I guess they're just playing more for the bigger picture.
Yeah, exactly. They want to make sure no matter what, they have a full buy next round. So don't blame them at all for not spending a lot of money on utility. Smoke is going to separate Emmy from his teammate here at Banana, and there are a couple players up close on this wall, but Emmy's not going to press too much further forward. He's actually alone here, and he might be in for a lot of trouble, Vince, if they go for this pop flash push.
Yeah, he has certainly started to feel that was a potential, so he's going to dart away and pick up the bomb. That is the other cog in the wheel, is with the bomb being in an awkward spot, if they do take him and push down Banana and find the bomb, that could be the round done. He does still have control of this, though. If he dies around this area, could just be curtains.
Yeah, so they have ships playing in apartments next to his ult position. Letney takes over Hunter's ult role at Boiler, and that means Emmy has kind of been the one that's been patrolling over towards Banana, so that's kind of the adjustments that Crazy have made with this new lineup. Again, keeping it pretty slow and cautious right now. They're trying to go for a late B play, it seems like, but they're seeing a smoke on Library, trying to keep attention towards A. The problem is Bernard is up close, but he's stranded, Vince. Will they check him? Will they not? They won't. He's able to get one kill, but that's going to be it, an efficient trade from Otto, and now that means that Nino's in a lot of trouble. He's by himself at B with just the 5-7.
Does have some feedback tossed into his teammates. Some resources being put through the smoke. It's going to be Thomas that goes aggressive. Not able to deny a great deal, though. That trade's not good enough now. Molotov down into Banana, keeps next box at arm's reach.
He's had a scroll wheel.
Grenade does chip him away for a quarter of his HP. Loves keeping the dream alive, and next box just walks into the trap, maybe assuming that player backed off to the side to help his teammates out. But whichever way you spin it, Asterion, as a result of not forcing behind their save guns, do have another buy coming up, and it's much more powerful than the one we just saw.
This is basically kind of their last-ditch effort to get into this game. You feel like if you can't make this full buy work and you let Crazy go to 14, your chances of winning this map are just so slim. And that was one of those rounds where Asterion kept going for plays, but they only kept getting one kill out of them. Crazy was really efficient on not letting any of those things throw a wrench in their plans, and now they are ever closer to the decider best of 3 later on this evening for a shot at the playoffs. Obviously, they suffered that upset from Havu on the opening day. Now they're trying to play recovery mode, and they're well on their way. But again, this is the big round.
Similar angle to where Otto landed a frag when the roles were reversed. Crazy not going to fall for it. Already depleting so many of their nades, though. 3 flashes and a smoke. That's all that Asterion have collectively. Molly's being put down, just making sure that anyone on the quad side is dealt with and forced to back away.
Yep. Luzza actually re-aggresses, though, on top middle with the AWP, but he misses an opportunity there. And now they know exactly where he is. They can further put in some utility. They're going to actually keep chasing out the Luzza. Now he's smoked off, put in the library. Now Sitch has to watch for a CT spawn push. This is giving so much room to Crazy. At least there are still 2 defenders towards pit and balcony, though. That's what the real test they have to break through. But if they're able to wrap on Luzza, then that would be more angles that these 2 players at pit have to worry about.
Problem is, most of their utilities on Bernard, who's over on B. So there's only one flashbang that's been tossed in.
Oh!
Lining up for Luzza. And it's gone from bad to worse for Crazy. Otto is going to come back with a frag. It's even trades, back and forth, back and forth. Enough time for Otto to pick up the bomb and get it planted. He has to assume the last 2 players are on B. That would be the right and correct assumption. Here comes the SG. They need to make sure they don't run in. Head height so very close. But Asterion gonna get it done and pick up a 7th round. That 2-for-1 play from Luzza was everything for Asterion in that round.
Goodness.
If he goes down without any kills, the round's done.
Oh, yeah, and probably the match with it, if we're 100% honest. Like, that's the kind of situation we're in right now at the score that Crazy has, and that's one of the craziest 2-for-1s you'll probably ever see. Not a common place to see a lineup, especially on just kind of an up-close push like that. Otto had a chance at that clutch. He did well to get those 2 kills and get the bomb down, but just could not handle that moto wrap. They came on him so fast as they got done planning. He didn't have a chance to get out of that corner. There you go, crowd getting riled up a little bit. Asterion has breathed some life into this half, and now Luzza is going to see if he can continue his efforts from the previous round with the op aggressive at B. He has been flashed off his position.
Smoke designed perfectly to extinguish the Molotov tossed in and give him an angle of aggression as well. That's why the flash was tossed, to just force him back. So it ends like a bit of a stalemate, but CR4ZY already taking this much banana control with 1:20 left.
Yeah, but they have plenty of utility for a set piece. You know, Molotovs for new box, oranges, smokes for coffins and CT spawn, plenty of flashes as well. Again, they're just going to leave Letney in Hunter's old role to kind of lurk out towards top middle. And here indeed comes the push.
They're looking to mix up the pace as well this time. They're going straight in for the jugular. Ruthless aggression has backfired. Asterion more than capable to stand and deal with it. Laza, different position. This time he's missed. He's trying to keep them busy. Molotov tossed in. How much damage can he do before he falls down? Not required. Thomas is there to help his teammate out. Their fellow Brit comes up clutch. Laza does burn to a crisp, but it's a 3-on-1 with Letney making moves through arches. He may be able to drop next Fox. He's been spotted. No bomb control. He is out of there. The economy is in rough shape. Emmy down to $150. Asterion have broke CR4ZY.
Indeed, they have a well put together defense there from Asterion on that B bomb site. It could have gotten a lot scarier because Letney was actually getting a really good timing through arch. He was getting behind the rotation. So if CR4ZY could have survived a bit longer towards top banana, he might have been able to create a pinch play. But they could not hold. Bernard, Laza, Thomas in particular, really putting hammer to nail on that B attack. And so it is 13-8. As you noted, the economy is not really there for CR4ZY. They can't buy too much around this AK that Letney has saved. Ships is the only person who really has a lot of spending power, maybe Auto as well. So, I mean, they could consider it. There is enough there. Indeed, they do. They spring for the SGs. Auto and Ships did have the money, but two players are left with just CZs.
This is really dipping in and scraping the bottom of the barrel. If CR4ZY concede this round cleanly, this could be Asterion shooting up to 10 rounds.
Yep.
The pressure, well and truly, has been dialed up a few notches.
Now you just have to be scared if it's just deja vu. Remember, we had a great comeback effort from Asterion on train as well, and it was right there, but they could never quite get to that point. You know, they got held off. Now they're getting presented another chance to try to do the same exact thing. Will this time fare better? We are going to see CR4ZY looking to, again, attack into top middle. Laza is there with the AWP towards the arch. There are two players towards the lane. No rotation from B just yet to add a fourth man to this defense.
Oh, Laza looking for the timing peak. Finds it. Esperanto. Cold. More kills could be coming up, trying to shoulder peek to draw up the AWP shots. They can try and swarm Laza, but he does have a second player coming in the form of Thomas. So even if he does miss his AWP shot, they still are bolstered up on arches. It's looking pretty grim. Also eviscerating both Nino and Next Fox. Cracking open the site. Trying to plunder it for everything it's worth. 30 seconds to go. Laza peering, pondering a potential push. The smoke is going to blot out his vision. Thomas there to dispatch of one. In comes the smoke push. It's going to be down to Laza. He needs to land a shot. He misses. It's going to cost him dearly and potentially Asterion everything. 10 seconds to go. Bomb getting planted. And they've moved up a player into the close angle of Graveyard. With Bernard busy staring at Mini Pit, the chances of him realizing this secondary angle is so unlikely. Molotov in. Is it going to spread to Ships? Does he have to escape? No. He can just stay in here forever. That Molotov has been completely wasted.
Oh man, that's so unfortunate. You felt like that should push him out and give him the 1v1, but it doesn't, and now there's no time left. And so CR4ZY, despite Laza, with some great efforts, he hit a really nice shot on the re-aggress top mid. Like you said, the timing play. But then when he tried to go for some more, he just missed those opportunities, and that really let CR4ZY break in. Great plays from Auto and Ships in particular. Had some big entries there up the lane and out the balcony. Also limiting Thomas, just the one frag on the site was pretty big. Just efficient trading from CR4ZY. Nothing innovative or crazy about it, just really clean takes. That's a great one on the end from Auto through the tire, and so that's 14 for CR4ZY. Asterion springing for all that they can, Vince, but it's 2 SMGs and a mag 7 on Laza. That's far from ideal.
Oh, double nades as well. I honestly thought that was going to claim the life of Emmy. They seemed like they landed both just on top of him. But Asterion They've had to pitch in themselves and go for a full buy, including a Mag 7. They're going to use both that and the MP9 up close in apps. The ship's taking some control with the SG. Meanwhile, standard go-to terrorist tactics. Take banana control, take apps control, try and constrict the utility out of Asterion, and then pounce. Oh, and it's just got a whole lot worse. Thomas has been put down by Otto's AWP at the top of Banana. This stacks more pressure on Bernard. It forces out the rotation and leaves both Luzza and NextFox thinly spread. And they're the two players with the weaker weapons as well.
Yeah, they are stranded right now. There's no rotation coming in. The defense has to split 2 to each site because of the early exchange onto Thomas from Otto's AWP. Luzza trying to at least play the close angle with the Mag 7, give it its best hope of having impact, but as time dwindles, he backs off, and now it's really going to be on NextFox with the MP9.
That's a kill he's got to get. Simply put, he has to land that. At least one before he falls. Luzza, though, coming through. Connected, the Mag 7 frag takes Otto's AWP, uses it against the terrorist. Now Ships is waiting, he's biding his time, he's going to strike!
Bomb has been planted.
And the venom of the Coil Viper is too much for Asterion. They don't have the antidote. 7 match points, 7 elimination points in play in Asterion. They are flat out broke.
Yeah, the money has been a real problem for them really throughout this comeback run, and also their lane defense has really lacked. You're seeing Crazy time and time again be able to abuse that side of the map. They haven't needed Esperanto's, heavy B type plays. They haven't needed the Chips has been able to get those timings out of the porch position. Seen Otto be able to really pitch in several times. It's really been a great affair from Crazy. The aggression tries to come in. NextFox was trying to get into that close corner, but he didn't get there fast enough. But Thomas with the Deagle and Nino, they come in. They're still giving a lifeline here for Asterion in this map.
This has completely repelled one half of the map, leaving Crazy caught in the land of confusion. Should we push? Should we stay? They do a bit of both. Otto's fallen back towards mid. Now they're going to start to congregate together again. Luzza tosses out the nade. They know one of these defenders at least is on the CT side, but they don't know that Bernard is here with a 5-7. 2 kills by the pistol. Going to trade across to the AK. In comes Otto, and he is put in his place. Asterion, again, like Train, get a second win.
Indeed they do, but how much further can they take it, Vince? You have to consider that they've really only won maybe 1 or 2 true gun rounds this entire half. Meanwhile, they must now win at 6 in a row just to get an overtime, just for a chance at a third match. There's no guarantees here whatsoever, but hey, they did win that round. They did keep this competitive. And they have a chance at a 10th. Crazy do not have much to work with. I said that's how they finished off Train, so hopefully it's not going to be history repeating itself in this round if you're an Asterion fan.
Yeah, this is where focus is paramount. You cannot take anything for granted. Fight for every little bit of a scrap. Because Crazy are more than capable of punishing you if you make mistakes. I mean, we've already seen that on the CT side. A couple of missed shots here and there has cost Asterion dearly, put them in this position in the first place.
Looking like a split here from Crazy through apartments and lane. They're setting up the utility. What limited they have is just that one pop flash from Ships. They're just going to try to explode out of these pistols and try to overwhelm Pit, but there are 2 defenders here. It's going to be a lot harder to break through with the extra hands available.
Who stopped? That's a solid flashbang. It's allowing the terrorists to force their way out. But be careful what you wish for. NextFox battening it down. There are 2 kills that have gone the way. The bomb has been planted in amongst the ruckus, in amongst the frenzy. Down goes NextFox. Surely not again, Asterion. Surely not about to shoot yourself in the foot for the second time. Molotovs and smokes being exchanged long range from Pit and the alcove. Thomas flashing over, here comes the push. And there come the last 2 kills. Big time kill from Thomas, by the way, because Esperanto was ready to pull the trigger on that CZ.
Oh, it looked like he was going to sneak by that moto smoke and be the spoiler of that round, but he wasn't. So Thomas and Bernard and company, they do hold on. They do push it to 10. It was sketchy, but they got there nonetheless. But here comes the full buyback from Crazy. Plenty of utility, all the weapons they could want. So they are going to be in prime position to look to close out this game, but maybe, just maybe, Asterion can keep us stringing along. Luzza looking for something aggressive with this AWP down towards mid. Oh, he's going all the way, Vince.
Oh, and it's paid off. What a time to pull out a courageous player like that with so much on the line.
He has been so wild at mid. I mean, whether it's the re-aggressions on off timings to clear out brackets or plays like that, he has had a lot of impact in early round situations for Asterion, always kind of giving them chances. Can they push it further now, though?
Thomas Flash had to just get out of there. That was his first priority. Bernard now does a lot of damage, but no kills. Thomas gonna try and get them on the cross towards the new box. Good flashes, and Nay's been put in. The bomb's been dropped out. It's going to take them a little bit longer to get it planted now. Planting in a bit of an off angle just to stop the wall bank from coming into play. Wasn't too far off from Thomas. But this is where the incendiary from Nino could be so massively vital. They also have smokes. They can lock off the likes of Banana and keep it a more constricted retake. Let me playing a bit of an off angle. Typically in the dark is where you're gonna jump in. Luzza spins across, flicks to the chest of Letney, and he trying as he may. There are too many players to contend with, and Asterion march on.
Yeah. Too many CTs on the dance floor, Vince, if you're Fly of the Concords fan.
Far too many. Tripping over each other at times.
Of course, the actual lyric there is not safe for broadcast, but that's fine. So here we go. CR4ZY are going to be just on pistols here. Asterion 4 away from forcing the overtime. A great retake there on that B bomb site. They have really made the most of what they've had these last few rounds to keep themselves in this race. Luzza again thinking about doing something with AWP at middle, but this time retreats into the archway. And we see these pistols looking to just gear up for one quick explosion on middle.
Luzza's had a swing and a miss, but there's the Molotov, can buy him up a bit more time. Esperanto and Emmy decide that smoke doesn't affect them. Certainly not the case. Thomas gonna be looking for that peak. They're already spilling out onto the site, but the blockade has been established. Nino with a second, next box also chipping in with frags, but Ships now in a bit of an interesting angle, nearly whiffed the spray. His position now compromised, bomb under control from the CTs. But he has an AK-47. He has been in fine form. He's currently on 29 kills. So if there's one player from CR4ZY that you'd want in this 1v3, it would be him.
And he has a smoke and a flash, so he might be able to do something with that. He is going to go towards apartments. This is his natural position on this team on default, is to make those timing plays out of balcony. The problem is that Nino has that covered. Luz is watching the Moto wrap, and they have Next, Fox in pit watching the lane push. So basically they have all their bases covered. I mean, unless Ships wins an incredible 1v1 to break out, I mean, this should be going the way of Asterion.
They do have a player watching over to the library instead, so this could be raw timing. Kill onto Luzza. We'll have some question marks from his teammate.
And a wonderful crowd here cheering on Asterion as they make this comeback dream closer and closer to a reality as every single round passes. They have now constructed the last 4 rounds in a row. Some of them have been weathered. They've had to do a couple of retakes, a couple of defuses. There were some chances for CR4ZY to close, but it hasn't happened quite yet. The Benelux scene rides on Asterion here, and so far it's working out.
I suppose to look at the positives for CR4ZY, yes, it started to get a bit out of control, but as he said, it's never looked hugely confident from Asterion. They've constantly had to weather the storm against pistol buys, aggression. There are definitely gaps in the armor they can try and exploit. But the resolve that Asterion have shown has been nothing short of impressive. Been a joy to watch them play.
Oh yeah, especially since we didn't really get to watch them play yesterday, right? I mean, at 16-1, didn't really have a chance to really show themselves, but here they've really been able to deliver. Can they deliver it all the way, though, Vince? That's really the question. They need 3 more to force an overtime. I'd love to see it, to be honest. I'd love some extra rounds out of this game. I feel like it deserves it.
Oh, those question marks will be answered momentarily in round 28. Will this be the final of this best of 3? No utility on Luzza from the beginning. The rest of his team, though, can help him out on those endeavors. Throw on archers again. Luz has typically covered this, but instead, this time he's actually perched up on the site. So Nino is taking this one instead. And they've given up arch control. So for all Asterion know, Crazy could be flanking around the back of CT. Yeah. This is why Thomas is now watching that angle.
So dangerous. Luckily, they have the double pit set up, which is really hard to break, and Luzza is still kind of floating around on the site. Nino has spotted that Moto Rat. The smoke is still up on the apartments, holding ships off, but now it's faded.
Oh, a team kill. Letney's put his teammate down, instantly executes him. And now it's down to him on the site. Molotov into pit, maybe gonna force one of these players out into the open. Letney's able to capitalize. And now switches across to the AWP, 20 seconds to go. He's about to be forced again. Kill onto Library, but he wasn't anticipating the double push. 2 rounds away from overtime.
This is really becoming more and more real now, especially with the money being in a really tight spot for Crazy. Letney's team kill really put a damper on things on that push from Crazy, but also that double pit defense. There's no utility to really flush them out of position, so they were able to hold what is very wonderful territory to have on any type of A-take and be able to deliver off the back of it. And so now they're 2 rounds away from those extra rounds. Not much here from Crazy. They decided to save for last, essentially. They do put a little bit of money into this, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, and it seemed like a last-second decision. They bought very late on.
Yeah, I think it was one of those things where they wanted to calculate just how much they could spend while not hamstringing themselves on the full buy in round number 30. And again, we saw them finish off train with a buy not too far away from this. And Chips does have that SG, and he's had such a great game that you feel like you kind of pass him the ball and to see what he can do.
Incendiary down, but there's already 3 players have pushed past there. Luz has missed a shot. Bernard with a flashbang to Otto, gonna reap the rewards. Luzza continuing to repel the onslaught, but the Desert Eagle is gonna force him out of this round. And now a 2-on-2. Retake in place. CT has been smoked off.
Yep, and there's rifles now in the hands of these 2 remaining players holding off this retake. It's going to be a hard take now.
Oh, the flashbang's not enough. Ship still connects the dots. Nino, with all the chips on the table, has not been fragged out. Can't connect the kill onto Ships, though. 2 HP remains for him, and there we go, Crazy. It was labored, it went the distance, but they finally get the job done. I've got to say, though, Asterion exceeded all my expectations. These guys played awesome.
Yeah, indeed, crowd. Given final cheer here as we send Asterion off stage. They fought valiantly in this series. Did such a great job. Made you really believe in them several different times throughout that they were going to force extra rounds and maybe even take a map, but Crazy, while it was labored, while we've seen them really struggle with this new lineup, obviously it's their debut, they've been able to move on to that decider best of 3 a little bit later on and give themselves still a chance at finding those playoffs.
It's been an awesome event.
Oh, absolutely.
So many impressive teams that honestly I hadn't seen much coming into this tournament. The likes of Havu, Asterion are definitely up there as well. It's just great to see. You know, obviously the crowd definitely spurred them on, there's no doubt about that at all. But some very impressive performances, man. That was a joy to watch.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate all of you tuning in, but now we're going to pass over to our analyst desk as they break that one down. So take it away, Frankie.
Thank you so much. You know what I have to say? I have to give kudos to the 6th player of Asterion there, the crowd here in Rotterdam. And you guys, I know how much you love cheering on Asterion. So if you guys stick around, in fact, if you guys show me you're enthusiastic for it, maybe we'll get a player from Asterion to do an interview with us. What do you think? All right. They can't say no now, can they? We'll try and get maybe Bernard, their in-game leader. So Bernard, if you're hearing this, head to the interview or we'll be speaking to you very soon. See, I was trying to speak Dutch then. It didn't work out. Now, let's have a chat about that series. It did go the way we expected it to, but there were some shining moments from Asterion there, especially as we finally got to see their second half of Inferno, Potter.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it was really the Luzza and Thomas show. Although a lot of the players on Asterion side did step up, I think Luzza with his forward aggression, with that op, finding the opening specifically on that CT side Inferno, it really gave advantages to Asterion. And kudos to the players on Asterion to be able to rally behind that and capitalize off those advantages.
Yes, I mean, considering that Thomas and Luzza are both these stand-ins coming in, right? They're top rank for the team. You can see Thomas speaking a lot in the server as well. And you got to give them credit. I mean, you don't expect them to win the game, but the fact fact that they were able to grind it back, showing a lot of mental fortitude, that's something which you learn or pick up after having played for years in like high tier, like high pressure situations. But then to bring it up here against a team like CR4ZY, it's commendable. Exactly,
and we spoke about it in the pre-show. We were kind of iffy about that Inferno pick, wondering what their game plan was going to be, because yesterday their showing wasn't quite as impressive, that 16-1 defeat. But for them to come out in the second day and pick Inferno themselves, I think that's commendable, and it's definitely respectable.
It was a cojones play, and it was not what we were expecting at all, and we certainly were not expecting that performance. But we should, of course, talk about CR4ZY, because they are going to have another match. It's going to be a tough one against Havu later on. It's going to be the rematch of what we saw yesterday, in fact. Lenny, we were not expecting so much from him, maybe. We're expecting him to have a bit of a quiet one, but then suddenly, 3 different weapons at one point to win a round on the A side on train. Absolutely bonkers, and showing that actually when he needs to perform, he can do it, and I want to see it more often from him.
Exactly, and Letney is one of those players that was a question mark for us. He's shown up sometimes every other event or so, 1 or 2 events, it's happened, but this time in this series, he absolutely showed up, and man, Ships in that server, the young Bulgarian coming in, his headshot percentage, his precise aim, it is beautiful.
Well, we have got, I think it's Neil M maybe standing by from CR4ZY, ready to talk to us now. Are you there, Neil?
Yes, indeed
Neil,
I am.
It's lovely to see. I've seen you wear a few jerseys now, but I have to say the CR4ZY one suits you. How does it feel for you to wear it?
Yeah, it's great to be reunited with SB, obviously from Imperial times, so it's nice to wear a major team jersey, I guess.
Absolutely.
How has that transition for Ships been coming into this lineup? I know English is not his first language, and we know how challenging it can be to play Counter-Strike with speaking a different language.
English is not a problem for Ships,
okay,
since he plays a lot of FPL, and he's fitting in comfortably in the team, so I wouldn't say it's communication that's an issue for him. It's just fitting into the role where we can get the best out of him, because we brought him in to be the next star. So obviously, losing Hunter and Nexa, they're big gaps to fill, but I believe that Ships is going to be the next star that we can make him like that, basically. So just fitting him in to how we want to play. Obviously, you can't just fit in 2 guys and wear Hunter and Nexa. Ships is a different player to them. So we need to find the right 5 formation, basically, to shine SB, Ships, and Otto, who are our 3 main stars, basically.
On Inferno, it looked like at one point when you were down 4-2 or 5-3 that you guys are playing a little bit more, like giving it a little bit too much of respect to these guys, and it felt like during the second half of that first half, you guys seemed to kind of wake up. You could see like Otto going for repeats, Esperanto being hyper-aggressive. Ships, for example, with the op towards Banana, was there kind of like a wake-up moment for you guys there in Inferno?
Yeah, when we paused, we were just letting them get picks out. I think they were boosting over the smokes at Banana, get like 3 kills. So basically when I paused, I wanted Ships the second up because it's been working really well in practice. So we need to turn like our bootcamp was really successful when Ships was second open on Inferno. So basically we just turned it around, brought Ships on second up, and we had to be on lockdown. So yeah, just giving them too much respect, letting them walk into Banana. We're the better team. We need to show that we're a better team here. So yeah, basically we just adjusted to how they were playing, because obviously they're not really a team, they're a mix, they have basic strats. So yeah, just adjusting well.
Was that a problem later on when they were kind of like bringing about this comeback? I think it was like 15-8 or something, and it just won 5 in a row. Was there any panic in the team at that point in time?
A little bit. We kind of screwed up a 15-8 round that we practiced against like Light Buys. We just screwed that up totally and just let them get back into the game. There was small individual greatness by Luzzer with the AWP, with the double kill. He was playing really well with the AWP, kind of locking us down. So yeah, it was a little bit difficult, a lot more difficult than I expected, but a win is a win.
That is correct, but are you going to win against Havu later on, Neil?
Without a doubt, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us. I love that confidence. I love hearing your voice as well back at the LAN again, Neil. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, thank you.
Now, Neil has actually done something that Ships is not going to thank him for there. He revealed that Ships can speak pretty good English, which means next time I'm on the sidelines, I'm coming for you, kid.
Wow, that's terrifying.
I mean, I really like, you know, testing players out, like trying to ease them into the interview process. And so I'm always sort of trying to look into it and see what I can do. We've also got Bernard waiting for us, and I believe he might be ready as well. I believe Neil's literally giving him the headset.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Hi, you are ready. Bernard, it's an obvious question, but how are you feeling right now after that performance?
I don't know. Not really happy with the result, but I think we had some comebacks in the game, so I guess we're gonna be happy with that.
Hey Bernard, I wanted to ask, whose decision was it to re-pick Inferno coming into today? And were you guys nervous at all since yesterday's performance was a little iffy?
Well, yesterday I think we changed the spot around, and the UKers really wanted to play Inferno, so we played Inferno again. I think we could have played it way better. Yeah.
All right, quick question from my end would be, well, for you guys, you have played this with two stand-ins, right? The British players and everything, but what is it for you guys going forward? Obviously, not many people have heard of you guys till this particular event, and you did show quite a bit of fight against Crazy, so going forward, what's it like for Asterion as a team?
We're just going to continue prepping with our full lineup and play the season out like the plan was, so I don't think there's any special plans because of this event.
Well, I know you guys were playing at the ESL Benelux Champions online last night as well, and I heard you won, so congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
What is the future plan? Because obviously Thomas and Luzza, they do change things a bit. You changed to accommodate them. You were sharing the calling role with Thomas. And of course, Nino went to secondary AWP, so Luzza could do his thing there. So what should we expect from you going forward? Because I think you won yourself some fans today.
Really?
So you're going to have a lot more viewers next time you play, Bernard. So tell them what you're going to be doing for them in the future.
We're gonna be grinding our way back up and show some good CS next time, hopefully.
Have you got any words for them out there?
Thanks for coming. Thanks for cheering for us. I really appreciate it.
There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bernard. Even louder, please, DreamHack Rotterdam for Asterion. There we go. Thank you so much, Bernard. Good luck and good luck with the ESL Benelux.
Go.
There we go.
Yeah, time to make Dutch CS great again. I mean, just have one guy, Chris J, right? You need more players coming out from this region, so good for them.
Yeah, now I want to head over to Potter, and you're going to talk us through around on train, aren't you?
Yes, so this is going to be on train, and it's a little bit later in that second half, and I've already fast-forwarded for you guys to speed things up a little bit, but to give a little bit of context, Crazy is down in a deficit 2 versus 4, and it's Letney and Ships here. And I want you to pay attention to Ships' positioning here, and also this smoke right here. Now, because this smoke pops, and it is thrown from Asterion, from T-spawn, we know that Ships no longer has to worry about Ivy, and neither does Letney. And I want you to pay attention to Ship's point of view, the line of sight here, with Letney's line of sight here and here. Now, when I push play here, you're gonna see Ships is able to just pop off a few shots, and it allows Letney to hug this train, the middle pink train, and because his line of sight is not showing and not revealing to the enemies, it's forcing the Asterion esports players to have to fall all the way back here and push forward in order to force that trade. If we can go onto Letney's screen point of view here, you're gonna see how easy it looks for him, but it's all because of this first kill, the first clean kill in that T-mid, and he goes back, hugs that pink train, and he knows that Ships is right behind him, being able to follow up on his kills, follow up on those reactions, and those kinds of plays, when you're at such a deficit, the heroic plays coming out of these individuals is exactly what we were looking for from Crazy, and it's so great to see that it was Letney to do the work.
Yeah.
And
Yep, no, go ahead.
I was going to say you're going to move us on to Inferno, Blair.
Yes, we do have, I think we have a few clips for you guys. It was a weird pistol round, right? It was kind of weird where it was very reminiscent of the previous game when it plays against Forest, where look at 3 players pushing down all the way from mid by Crazy, and they find Thomas all alone towards Banana, and the rest of his team just kind of baited him fully. They're going through apartments. They're going to be finding, not an empty bomb site, there is still a CT player towards Pit over there, and they get the bomb down, but it was a 4v4. It could have easily have been won by the Ts, but then it was a nice retake coming in from the CTs from Crazy, and they won the round. But I just want to understand the thought process behind that, right? Like, Crazy, when they pushed down mid and they got the kill on the Thomas, they knew 100% where the rest of the other 4 players are. But instead of taking the fight towards mid, they actually fell back towards Banana, rotated all the way from CT and played for the retake, and that is maturity as a team. They could have gone for the fight over there, but they're like, you know what if there's a guy towards Drains, towards someone pushing out from T-spawn pretty late on. So they played it smart. It was a 4v4. They went for the gamble push. They got the first kill, and they were happy just getting their 1 kill and falling back. So that's a pretty cool play coming out from Crazy. So
from the looks of it, from the sounds of it, that series against Havu later on is going to be competitive.
It's going to be crazy. I'm sorry.
I almost feel like I could throw straight to the break after that because, you know, Blair, you just outwitted me in every way, shape or form, but unfortunately it is left to me to tell you guys to stick around, because coming up after the break, playing for a spot in the semi-finals tomorrow, it is going to be Hard Legion coming back from their win this morning to face Heroic.